Hello there, this is Mr. Dunaway and welcome to the third video of our Wildcard Microsoft assignment. And this is what you should have completed. It should look almost identical to what you see on my screen right now, where it says the Wildcard game, and then you have this editorial note in italics right there. And hopefully you've changed that to blue and underlined it and learned how to indent this little block right here. And we're just going to kind of finish things up. I'm going to show you again real quick the actual article we were kind of using as a just a way to practice some of these formatting changes in Word, and it looks something like this. Now, one thing you might have noticed right there when I clicked and dragged it, this is online right here, you'll notice how the spacing changes. So you don't have to stress if your spacing isn't identical to mine, because that's going to change based on how I move my screen. See, like it's doing right there. All of these lines change. So it should be close. We could go in and do some things to it if we wanted to line up the sides, but we're not going to worry about that at the moment. The last thing I just want to point out to you is you notice they have a bar right here where my mouse is. So we're going to put that on our screen right there. So I'm going to click over to my Word document. And if we go up here to shapes, the cool thing about shapes is we have access to all these kind of things that we can insert at any place within our document. All kinds of call-out shapes. You've got arrows here. You got different kind of geometrical shapes here. Even there's a stop sign, a half moon, lightning bolt. That's fun. I'm just going to pick this one right here. It's the second one. Mine says recently used. Yours is probably right here under lines. So where it says lines, there should be just a straight line, and notice there's no ends, no arrows on either end of it. So I'm just going to click that. You notice my cursor changed to a plus sign. I'm just going to click right there and drag that, and you're going to see that it shows up, but it's not very dark. So what we're going to do is we are going to make sure that it's selected. You see these little bubbles, little circles on the end of the line. Let's see what we can do to that right here. If we click on Shape Outline, and if I click this one right here, that's just a black line right there. I could do that. The one in the picture is kind of a darker, well, I don't know, purple-like color. So you can just pick something dark like that. I'll pick that color right there, but I'd like it to be a little thicker. So if we go down here to weight is what will actually change the thickness of that. So I'm going to make it, something like that. And as I look at the article, although you can't see it, I notice that the line is a little bit longer than the text. So I'm going to drag that. I'm going to click back on it again, drag it up and drag it down and make it look, something like that. And it's not perfect. I didn't really get it very straight there. So if I want to straighten it out, I just click and move one end of it, and it'll just kind of slant over, and sometimes it won't line up exactly, but just get it close to something like that and you get the idea. That's not beautiful, but it works. Here again is the original one. That's the line right there that I was going for to make it look something like that. But again, the point is to get you to see how the shapes work. Now that line is really bugging me that's not straight. Sometimes when you insert these with the pixels, they don't line up exactly. That's pretty good right there. So go ahead and click over and do that in your document if you haven't done that yet. And really, if you're at this point, you're pretty much at the end of the project. So I'm going to give you an extension right now if you're one of the fast workers and you want to do something a little more fun. Some of you probably have already done this. Let's just have some fun with inserting a picture so you can see how that works. Again, in Microsoft Word, up here at the top, you have all of these tabs, and the tabs allow you to do different things within your document. I want to click on Insert. And again, here we can insert shapes like we just did. We could have done that from this particular screen. This is an interesting one here. You can actually take a screenshot of another document that's open. That's nice if you have to make a worksheet or something for someone to work on. But I want you to take a look at these two right here. We have pictures and we have online pictures. And a picture is what we would use if I had saved a picture, like say I took it on my camera and I wanted to insert it into my document. I could save it on my hard drive, click that and go get it. But I don't have one saved, so I'm going to go to online pictures and I'm going to click on that, and it's going to take me to a search engine that will allow me to insert a picture. Now I'm going to click out of this. I forgot to show you one thing. It's important to be aware of where your cursor is. See the blinking cursor right here? I hope you can see it. I hope it records on the screen. It's right there. It's going to insert this picture wherever my cursor is. So if you put your cursor like right, say up here, the top, and you insert this picture, it's going to shift all of your text around, and it might freak you out when you come back to it. No worries if that happens, because we can move the picture pretty easily. But I like to just know where my cursor is, so it's right there. Now I'm going to go back to online pictures, go to the search engine, and I'm going to search Kansas City Royal 2014 Wildcard game, and just see what comes up. So here's some pictures we could use, and just to keep things simple, I think I'll do this one right here. I believe this is probably, I'm gonna click on this. I think that's when they probably won the either the World Series in New York in 2015, or it might be when they clinched the playoffs in 2014. That's not the actual wildcard game, because those are the visiting uniforms. Anyway, I'm going to click on that, make sure this check mark is in the corner right there, and I'm going to click Insert, and an error occurred. Okay, let's figure out what's going on with this. Okay, I am back, and I believe I fixed the problem, so let's try this again. I just tested it. I paused it, tested it, so we'll see if this works again. Let's try Kansas City Royals Wildcard game 2014. Search, there it is. Click on it, insert. Okay, that's what's supposed to happen. I don't know what happened last time. Microsoft just gets a little touchy sometimes. So there's now a picture that has to do with their championship run there. Now let's have some fun with this. I'd like you to just experiment with this. As you're watching the video, pause it, go over, and just experiment with the kind of the functions that we're working on. And interesting things happen with pictures. When you first move a picture into a Word document, it won't, I'm trying to drag it around. It won't let me do that at first. So if you click on it and you see the circles that surround it, and you see this little icon right here with the like, I don't know, it looks like a half moon or a telephone facing down with little lines through it. If you click on that, you get all of these layout options. And if you look at some of the other ones, there's all kinds of things that you can choose to do to manipulate that picture. Another way to access those is to click on it, and if you go up here to wrap text and you click on it, you actually get a few more options up here. All right, so if you click on that and you see all of the different things we could do with the picture. Here's a really interesting one right here. If you click behind text, all right, you click on that. Now I can actually move this behind the text, and I can grab the corner and make it nice and big if I want to, even though that doesn't really look too good because the picture gets so pixelated. So why don't you pause the video here, go over to your document and experiment first of all with that. See if you can click on it, come back, see if you can click on your document and move your picture around behind the text like that. That's one way to do. Go ahead and take a moment and do that. And if you're back, now let's look at what else we can do. Again, I have the picture still selected. I'm going to go up here. This is an interesting one. Let's see here. I don't really want to put it in front of the text because that's just going to block the text. You wouldn't want to do that. What if we did, let's see, square? Let's watch what happens here. If I do square and I move it up here, notice what happens to my text now. The picture is actually fitting within the text. Now that actually looks like a real newspaper article right there. If we want it a little bit smaller, we can do that. Ooh, that text got weird over there. So I'm going to slide my picture around. So when you select those other options for the picture, you can really have some fun or some creativity moving those around. So that one I believe I said was tight. If you go square, not really a lot of difference. I don't really see the difference between that and the other one. Some of these kind of do the same things. At least it looks like there's probably something I could do with it that I don't know I could do that's different with square or tight, top and bottom. Looks like that one will actually separate a above. Notice it's not putting any text to the left or the right of the image if I select that one there. In line with text, and that's the one where it's not, it just puts it to the, that's the default, that's the first one that it came to right there. So I really like this tight look right there where it looks like an article. So take a few minutes, experiment with your picture, and I'll leave that up to you. I would just ask that in your final document, when you're done here, that I can read all of the text. So if you put it behind the text, make sure that it's a way that I can still read the text. If you'd like to put in a couple more pictures just for fun, if you're way ahead of the game, that'd be really cool. Make it look awesome. And that's going to be the end of this assignment. Hopefully you've learned a little bit about formatting in Microsoft Word, and we'll talk to you next time.